Hey guys, Stefan again. Welcome back to another replay reviews. So, I'm back doing replay reviews. We're checking out Roll here. I believe he's around Silver 5-ish. And before we get into the game, I want you guys to know that I haven't been playing enough lately to comment too much on the builds. I'm gonna say what I would do, but take it with a grain of salt that there's a chance I'm wrong when it comes to the builds. Apart from that, everything else I'm going to say is going to be pretty crystal clear. And so I want you guys also to know that I'm going to start doing replay reviews again. And if people want, like, Diana Smurf commentaries, I can do those because currently I'm not really playing on my main because I just got back to the game, but most of it still applies. You got a good leash. Blitzcrank took a tower shot for you. You're against Fiddlesticks. The chances of Fiddlesticks invading you is very low, but yeah, so far so good. I'm not sure what kind of runes you're running, but by the looks of it, I think you're running 9 armor in yellows. Um, okay, this ward is good, just in case you're getting invaded. Okay, I see why you want to go for Tryndamere, because Tryndamere doesn't have flash, he's only got ghost. So you instantly did this, but taking E level 3 is going to hurt your clear a lot. And when you're spending time running back and forth without knowing what to do, then that's ineffective jungling, and you personally will hear me say that. You know, I say that about myself too if I'm like running around too much. Um, no, no, stop. Stop. Okay, I guess go for it. But, alright, you get an assist on first blood, fine. Alright, cool. I just felt like that was going to be a waste of time, but I guess you can't really expect the guy to be. But like he definitely could have lived, but he like could have gotten away from that, but he didn't play it correctly. Um, the amount of gold you are on, I do not remember all these keybinds. Okay, so you're on 1100 gold. Okay, yeah, take this, and I don't think you can take Gromp because of mana, because you don't. Okay, Gromp is still level 1, I forgot. Okay, yeah, you can do this. You'll be fine. It was closed, but it was fun. Alright, so you go back. You have 1400 gold to spend. Now, what are you going to buy? I like the Aether Wisp, but there is an issue. Alright, I don't know if you can spot the issue, but we're going to pause for a second. With your build, you do not have blue buff, right? To be fair, your mid laner is not going to need your blue buffs, so that's fair enough. Heimerdinger doesn't really need it. I would not give a Heimerdinger blue. So you're going to get all the blue buffs. However, currently you do not have a blue buff. And one of your issues is that you do not have a Talisman of Ascension. That one is kind of needed with current Diana because her mana issues are real. If you're watching this after patch 7.1.4, that's kind of irrelevant. You're not going to need it with recent mana changes. But, like, Talisman gives you a lot of health back as well because you get health back from when you attack something. No. You're wasting too much time. No. Because I don't like this. You have 2, almost 3 camps up. I mean, you might get a kill here, but you have to look. Tryndamere is level 6, right? I mean, this might work out because they don't think you're there. You also used your E on Fiddlesticks too early. Yeah, you fucked up on Fiddlesticks. Alright, let's go back and let's slow this down a little bit. Alright. So, let's go back again. So if we watch here, okay, we're looking at Fiddlesticks here. Okay? You E him right there. You cannot, when you're fighting Fiddlesticks, I don't care if you want to pull them both closer to you. When you're fighting Fiddlesticks, you do not use your E unless he's draining. Right? If you saved it and used it here, you could have won this trade. But look at Fiddlesticks' health. He would have been dead. Like, if you had not let him get his drain off. It's kind of unfortunate. really. Like, I I don't you don't have mana. It's 60 mana. Oh, it's you could have actually queued him. All right, where are you going? You're gonna take the plant here. You're gonna take this. That's good. Then I want you to take red buff and stop chasing Trinda. Stop chasing. Do red buff here. You're wasting way too much time. You spent way too much time on this top lane. No, you have 190 mana. You can do one combo at best. You have five jungle camps out. This is bad jungling, right? This is bad jungling. Very inefficient. Because you could have all your camps done and then gank, or you could have your jungle item, or be close to it if you actually just finished all your camps. Why are you skip? I mean, yeah, you want the blue buff, the mana from it, but you failed that. You see Fiddlesticks here. Alright, when you're in this situation, you see the jungler, you see the ward. He doesn't have blue. Oh, he does have blue buff, but this means that his red buff is going to be up. This is information that you should use because what you see here is he's going to waste a lot of time topside, and he's going to go to his wolves right now. He's going to his wolves right now. You saw him move out of here, meaning that you could, like, instead of going to Gromp here, you could hurry up over this side, take red buff, use your smite on it. I think you used it on blue buff, so you could use your smite on that, and then just use this to get out. And there you just denied him an extra buff. Okay. Now, why are you skipping wolves? What in the world? What are you doing? You are wasting way too much time doing absolutely nothing. And that is just something that I see. I feel like that's not just this game. I feel like that's going to be like a lot just overall. Because you just put your R here on cooldown as well. You have. Okay. You wasted a lot. You're still wasting time. Right? Your R isn't even up. You're never going to kill Tryndamere. So when you're playing Diana jungle, you have to maximize the amount of farming. Because you wasted a lot of time pre-level 6. And that's going to hurt. Because pre-level 6, the chances of you ganking someone on their team is very low. The chance of you ganking... Why did you skip your... See, no. When you're jungling, right? Okay. See. When you're jungling and going for a gank, because the chat, like, he's not in any immediate danger, they're not going to dive him. So when you're running through this side of your jungle, and this camp is up, you do this camp on the way there. If there's a chance that he's going to get dove, which I don't think so, he's almost full health, so the chances he's not about to get dove, and the minions aren't even under his tower yet, right? You wait, so instead you run all the way up here just to run back. Whereas you could just kill this and then go there. And if they're not going to do anything, if you don't see a play that you can use, then you just walk over here and take your golems. Right? It's about maximum, like, when you're playing a jungler, when you're jungling, it's about a lot more than just ganking. Right? It's knowing when to gank. And right now, you do not know when to gank. That's for damn sure. You don't know when to gank. But, like, you haven't counter-jungled Fiddle whatsoever. Fiddle is a pretty easy, like, after level 6, it's pretty easy to invade Fiddle. It's good that you get mid lane here, but I still would have liked you to be more aggressive against the Fiddle, because you don't always have to win there. Why are you not just taking the See, you walk right past 70 gold. They know you're there as well. And in most games, that's going to be warded. So, and you're not even going to go and do your... Yeah, okay. There's a lot of inefficiency here. You are wasting a lot of time and you're not getting much done. Right? There's a lot of situations... Like, you showed yourself mid lane for no reason. Now you're going back. Your blue buff just came up. Fiddlesticks knows that. Any good jungler who saw you walk past here up to topside is going to immediately go and take your blue buff. That's how jungling works. It's about fighting the enemy jungle. Obviously, that's not going to happen in this game, but we're preparing people to be better than the elo they play in, right? But like that's what a good jungler would do. He would have gone instantly and taken your blue buff. Okay. I don't think it's worth sticking around. I don't think there's anything you do here. See, the bot lane is kinda just lost already, so I don't know why you're going back again. I don't understand. Revolver? Okay, sure. I'm not gonna comment on build though. So yeah, Fiddle is about to. You saw him just shit the vision plant. They're gonna do this. Unlucky. And a lot of that happened because you just hadn't done all your camps yet. And that's one of the things that you have to know about, like, jungling in general, is that you have to be ready. Don't use your E on a fiddle. I mean, yeah, it worked out. But stop, for the love of God, stop using your E on something like a Fiddlesticks Katarina before they start their channeled ability. That is very important from the role of Diana, okay? That is something you have to keep in mind. Okay? So what you also have to do as a jungler in this game, Fiddlesticks does dragons really easily. Yeah, this is good, but at the same time is not. Okay, nice. Be careful though. Ari is missing. No, she's not. She's bot line. Okay. Do your wolves and then leave. No. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So for a jungler, a lot of the time you're gonna have to be prepared to take care of objectives like dragon and giving the okay. So a lot of people don't understand the importance of Infernal Dragon. Okay, we look at their team for a second here. They have a damage user. They have full damage except for Leona. Infernal Dragon gives 6%, or well, yeah, 8% and 16% for two of them. So if we look at Vayne here, she's got one dragon so far, and that gives her 8% AD. And when she gets a second, she's got 16% AD and AP. So this isn't just your team. Your team is not just the issue here. The issue is that you just did not jungle properly, right? You had no control over bot side. You had no control. You were trying to gank a Tryndamere, who see a lot of the thing. A lot of thing. A lot of the time, people don't actually realize this. But if you have a tank top laner, you do not need to gank for them, and you wasted a lot of time just trying to kill help the Mundo. Go do your blue buff, go do your Gromp. See, you're chasing kills, and like Mundo's in no pressure whatsoever. He's got a lot of armor, he's fine. Right? You've shown yourself to the enemy team a lot, right? And that is, in the end of the day, that's gonna get you. That's gonna hurt you as a jungler. Because, like, you've been involved in 5 kills, sure. 50% kill participation is good. But, inefficient jungling is not good, right? Why are we running around? Like, that was one person being chased by 4. No, 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 no. Oh, no. Just clear your camp. You saw Tryndamere? He's on your red buff. And that's what happens when you don't clear your camps. And why would you put R on cooldown? Oh, whatever. See, you're fed, right? You're gonna think like, oh, my team is an issue. I beg to differ because GLP. Okay, interesting. I beg to differ because if you had properly done your camps, you would be level 13, 14 at this point, not 12. And that sounds like it doesn't matter by a lot, but that actually does matter by a lot. And, well, Tryndamere, if you're going top, Tryndamere is going to kill you. +1. But what does this actually, like, benefit your team? Mundo can pretty much take him on his own. Why are you constantly focusing the top lane so much, right? You need to focus the dragons and all that stuff because what dragon is next? It's Earth Dragon. That's not good because Tryndamere is gonna really like that. So you need to okay. At this stage of the game, we're 25 minutes into the game. You've gotten a couple kills. Most of them were top lane. You need to be ready to do dragon. You need to have topside warded. You need to have Baron warded. I mean, Baron needs to be warded. Okay. They've already done dragon, right? I called this like a minute ago that they're gonna want to do that dragon, and that's just how it goes. And now you're just dead to nothing. You also used your E there again at the wrong time, so I don't even know if you're gonna lose this game because it feels like you're not gonna lose it, but at the same time, oh yeah, you do actually lose it, which is okay. See, okay. Like your play itself has been good, right? Your engages have been pretty good when you're fighting. You're doing combos. You're for the most part killing the right targets when there's a team fight. But but you focus top lane. I think that's where you went wrong because yeah, I think that's where you went wrong because Tryndamere can always just keep pushing and farming, and that's something that, especially against the Mundo, like Mundo can stop him later on in the game, and he's already getting to the point where he can stop him. But Tryndamere can still take towers even with a Mundo hitting him. And you focused on trying to shut down Tryndamere, and you did shut him down, but he still gets to do what he wants. And that is majorly because it's a tank versus carry matchup in the top lane. You have a hyper carry split pusher against a tank. You don't need to help the tank because for the most part, Mundo's done pretty well, right? You wasted all of your resources into doing top lane, and it doesn't do anything, and that's a very bad thing for a jungler because you wasted all of your time going top lane when if you try to just in a game like this against Fiddlesticks, um, most of your lanes were doing okay. So what I would have done in this game would have been I would have after level 6 especially I would have focused a lot on counter jungling the Fiddlesticks and counter ganking the Fiddlesticks. You're also putting your R on cooldown. I know it doesn't matter much, but it could screw you over. Yeah, so I don't think I'm actually gonna watch much more from this game because it's kind of like at this point we're just at the team fight stage and like I said, I'm trying to teach what you do wrong and team fighting is not really Diana's strength. And you let this kind of get out of hand by not focusing the dragons because now all of their damage dealers have so much more damage, which means they can build defensive. Ooh, okay. Tryndamere took dragon though. See, I don't like the build either, but I said I wasn't gonna comment much on the build. But yeah, we're gonna stop it here because I'll let it. The game's almost over. I would have tried. Okay, so the tip when it comes to jungling here is there's like in terms of like Diana herself, I can't really like give you any tips on that really. I mean, I don't want to argue with your build. You do what you want to do. That's just fair enough. But you had a lot of downtime on farm. You had a lot of Like, you didn't do anything to stop the Fiddle. You never got vision in Fiddle's jungle. You never did anything to stop Fiddle from winning the game. And in the end of the day, Fiddle did had the same amount of kill participation than you, but I do say that he had a bigger effect on your team or on the game, because he was the one that secured the dragons, right? He was the one that helped them get Rift Herald, and meanwhile you were spending time trying to gank Tryndamere at level 3 when you still had 2 camps up. I think that's where the issue was. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't think there's much else I can really say about this game in particular, because we could go into what ifs and all that all day long. By the end of the day, if you jungled properly early game and focused on objectives, I think your team would have won this game. And yeah, and now we're at the point where you have to team fight against a fed team with a lot of damage. Um, you just killed your entire team. Oh boy, yeah. Fiddlesticks carried. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Roll, thanks for a replay, man. Um, I know that I haven't done replays for a while, but I would definitely say focus more on getting your early clears, because those are the most important ones. Because the jungle counts matter the most early game, because they always give the same amount of gold. The gold they give doesn't scale based on how late you're in the game. So the earlier you do them, the more gold efficiency you get, because they're on cooldown and they spawn quicker into the game. And as a jungler, you need that. You need to keep yourself healthy. You need to keep yourself strong. You need to invade something like a Fiddlesticks. And there were like that top lane fight that we watched, that they basically killed Mundo and you couldn't do anything. I think it was over this one here. I feel like if you did not E that, right, you E'd at the wrong time. If you saved your E and used your E when Fiddlesticks used his drain, I think that's where if you had kept running, you would have gotten mana for Q as well. But that E is basically what cost you top lane, I think. If you had gotten both of them there, like because the thing is, if you killed Fiddlesticks because he didn't use his E, you would have gotten a level up sooner. Like you used your E at the wrong time. You would have gotten his level up soon. You would have gotten your level up sooner, and you could have killed the Tryndamere as well. And I want to go back to the thing about not taking Talisman early on. Like, instead of this Amplifying Tome, I would have taken Talisman, because it gives you mana regen in the jungle. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So focus on, jungling better early. Don't invest too much time in helping your tanks. Unless it's so a tank that you could invest time into that I would say is worth it are the team fighting ones, like Galio, the one that can, ult down bot lane to save your team. But the thing is, against a Tryndamere, they're never going to get to do that for your team, and that's why you have to you have to trust your top laner to hold the Tryndamere if it's a tank versus Tryndamere. Because Tryndamere is always just going to have enough lifesteal to handle, like a Mundo. Mundo's not going to kill Tryndamere late game. So yeah, I think that you should try to help mid lane or bot lane more. Even then, I think mid lane was your only objective. Like, if you put me into this game, I would have focused on counter jungling, not focused on ganking. Because your lanes were doing fine until Fiddlesticks affected them. And if you kept Fiddlesticks down, I think your team would have won the game. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. And if you need any more replay reviews, let me know, and I'll be glad to get them done. This has been Stefan. Cheers.